Okay, so this is getting started with SEO. So this I prepared a presentation for today. It's a guide for small businesses. So before I go into technical, I'll just do a brief overview of what SEO is. So what is SEO? So SEO, or commonly known as search engine optimization, is basically the process of making your website better for search engines. It's a cost-effective way of increasing the quality and quantity of traffic to your website through organic search engine results. So it's also one of the many methods of driving traffic to your website through organic search engine results. So if you have a website, I think one of the challenge once you have or if you want to go do online marketing, I think one of the challenges that you may encounter will be to drive traffic to your own website. So traffic means those are the number the visitors on your website. So no matter how well designed or how sophisticated your website is, if no one knows about it and no one is visiting your website, then it's useless. So that's why we need to drive traffic or visits to your website. And SEO is just one of the many online strategy wherein we can drive those traffics. So this is a cost-effective way because we're going to be utilizing those search engine. I believe you're already familiar with those search engines like Google. So Google has a lot of daily visits on a day, so we can take advantage of those, and it's free to get your site listed in Google. All we need to do is to optimize it so Google will rank it for the target keywords that you are selecting or choosing. So here's a process for developing an SEO growth strategy. So to become effective and successful, one should be methodical and organized. Here's what a good strategy look like. So number one, you should know your target audience. Then next, you need to define your objectives, your goals, maybe conversions or opt-in leads. And then third, you identify the right keywords to target, and then you categorize them, organize them. And then last, you need to track the data and the results. So in order for you to make adjustments and improve whatever campaigns you may have. So there are two main factors to keep in mind in order for you to rank in Google. So number one, it's relevancy. And second is user experience. So when I started SEO way back sometime in 2006, Google was only very focused on the relevancy. So for as long as your page is relevant to the keyword that the users or visitors are searching, so there's a good chance that you will rank high in Google. So during those times, we're mainly focused on quantity, like building a lot of backlinks as opposed to the quality of the backlinks. But sometime in 2012, I believe, or if I recall it correctly, or 2011, Google started to make the user experience as one of their major ranking factor. So what is this user experience? These are the technical aspects of a website. So like the security, is your website secure? Speed, does it load quickly when someone accesses it? Or is it error-free? So this is, I believe, an important aspect that Google is considering, because try to see an example. If you search in Google and then you click on the top sites in the results, and then you end up having a page error, or you are redirected to some sort of like a phishing site. So yeah, Google cannot afford to rank those types of pages. That's why they have included this user experience as one of their major ranking factors. That was after around 2012. So, okay, I have listed here 10 things to get started when you do an SEO for your website. So number one, in this digital age, with the rise of those social media websites, so some of the entrepreneurs or business owners just opted to create a social media account. So, but like Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn, but it's still recommended to have your own domain and own website if you want to build your own brand, because one of the um, positive of having your own website is that it establishes a strong online brand identity. Having your own domain makes you more credible, and then sorry, immediately building trust between your brand and the audience. So you also have full control and entirely customizable to suit your brand and business needs. And it also offers more opportunity to gain insights from traffic analytics and user behavior. The problem if you just promote your business over the other or social media websites is that you cannot fully customize those other pages. You are only limited to what they are sharing. So you cannot adjust the design or do some conversion rate optimization because you don't own that website. Unlike if you have your own, so you can do whatever you want. So that's why we highly recommend, if you really want to do online business, you register your own domain and build your own website. So next, once you already have your website, the next thing you need to do is to perform some technical site audit. So there are some free tools. Actually, WordRank this is a paid, but they allow one free, so you can do a site audit for one domain. So I used to use this WordRank.com, wherein you can check your site. But I have listed here all those important things or those are critical that you need to look into, so that to make sure that your site is search engine friendly. So number one here, SSL secure. So once you register a domain, it's usually an unsecure. So that's why you need to purchase the SSL certificate with it to make it HTTPS. Because by default, if you will not include the SSL certificate when you register a domain, or you buy hosting, when you try to access your website, you will be directed to the HTTP version only, which is the unsecured ones. Although Google will not penalize those websites that are unsecured, but since most of your competitors are already secured, so you will be left behind, or you will have a very low chance in ranking high in Google. So that's why we highly recommend that when you register or set up your website, should be already secured or with the SSL certificate. And then also make sure the page loading speed is fast. So you can visit this link to check if you're for this page speed of your website. So if in case your website is kind of slow, so I think you might want to tap some dev guys for this, because this is although this developersgoogle.com will provide will point exactly where the problem is, but it's really very technical, wherein you need to make some changes on code. So if you're not confident in fixing those, you can tap some web dev guys to help you with this one. And then make sure also that your website is mobile friendly. So since a lot of users are now shifting to mobile devices, so um, the last time we checked, it's somewhere around 60-40. So 60% are mobile users based on the traffic we have with our website. So it is, I think it is important that your website is mobile ready, and because you might be losing some of the opportunities for those mobile users coming from those mobile users. And then also we have this XML sitemap. So basically you create this .xml page for your site. When you click on this link, this is just a generator. So it will automatically generate, this is also for free. It will automatically generate an XML file. It will crawl your website and pull all the pages that you have and then create a single .xml page, which you will then upload to your server or to the under the root, because you will be submitting this to Google Search Console. This XML sitemap, this is the first, when Google crawlers or bots crawl your site, this is the very first page that they will look into, because this lists all the pages of your site. So it will give Google an idea on how you structured your site, and it will also help index all of your pages easily if you have this XML sitemap. So although this is not really required, or you will not get penalized if you don't have this, but it's an advantage to have this, because you're somewhat like helping Google to crawl your site easily and understand your site. Next is you need to avoid duplicate content, or copying content from other websites and using it as your content. So you need to avoid that, because Google is penalizing those websites having duplicate content. And same goes with auto-generated or span content. So using tools to like span the whatever content there is, and then to make it somewhat like unique, and then post it in your website. Google can easily detect those type of content. So auto-generated and span. So I would also encourage you to check the Google Webmasters guidelines. Actually, there are other guidelines that Google posted, the ones that they don't want you to do, but those are very technical. So that's why I did not include it in here. So those are like cloaking your website, which I believe you will not be doing that. You need to be well versed with the coding in order for you to do that. So, but you can check this link here I have provided, so you can see all of the Google's guidelines. So you need to make sure that you follow all the guidelines in order for your website to get the best chance to rank in Google search engine. So number 3, do your keyword research. I think this is the most important aspect of SEO, the keyword, because targeting the right keyword will lead you to make you become successful or not with your SEO strategy. So my advice actually, especially for those starting up business, before you dive into doing SEO on your website, so it is very important that you already identify the right keyword to target, because you will invest time, you will invest effort, and even invest money to build those contents, right? So if you cannot write your own content, maybe you want to hire some writers to create your content. But if you haven't identified the right keyword, or those correct keyword that will really bring you some conversions, then you will end up failing with this SEO strategy. So For my previous client before, especially for those startup, I always recommend to them that they run for the first 3 months or first few months when after launching their site. I always suggest that they do run a PPC campaign because with PPC campaign or the Google AdWords, it will give you instant results. So although you're going to be spending certain amount of money, but you can control it. The goal there is you'll be able to see or know what are those keywords that would really convert, and it will also give you the best time, chance to play around with your landing pages, because if a certain page or if your landing page does not convert, there are two possible reasons for that. It's either the keyword or the keyword that you target, or the, the users that landed on your page based on that queries are actually not ready to buy that product, or those are non-converting keywords that you have targeted. Although there are some keywords wherein many users are searching for it, but they are not actually real buyers, or they are just looking for information. So that's why that it's very important. And then also, if say you targeted the right keyword, but still you are not converting, maybe because your landing page, the conversion side of your landing page wasn't very optimized very properly. So that's why I would highly suggest, if you are just starting up your business, I would highly recommend that you do PPC campaign, because we can set a certain budget to drive instant traffic. Because if you do SEO, it will take time, like three to 6 months, in order for you to start driving visitors to your site, because Google will take time to analyze your pages, to rank it, and then but with a PPC, all you just need to do is to bid on the certain keywords that you want to initially target, and then Google will place you at the very top, or in that ads section in Google. So you will have the chance to drive traffic instantly, and then you can analyze what happened when with those traffic. So this is the good chance wherein you will know what are the best keywords to target before you invest time, effort, and money for your SEO campaign. So I have also listed here those free keyword research tools. You can use this like the keyword planner, but this keyword planner requires you to have a Google AdWords account in order for you to access this. But you can also check trends at google.com, wherein you can see what are the current trends, or what are the people are commonly searching online. And then there's also this keyword tool.io, which is also free to use. But the problem with these free keywords, they are limited to certain number of keywords only. So if you want to really do an extensive keyword research, so you might as well sign up for the Google AdWords, or sign up with this free paid accounts. But these free ones are really good for you to start already. So number 4, value first and then SEO later. So it's always incredibly important to make sure that you're putting your customers or leads, readers, or viewers first when it comes to content, and that SEO comes second. So when it comes to creating content, sure, you need to have SEO in mind, but the most important thing to remember is making sure that your content provides value to your reader before you do the SEO thing. So yeah, that's if you focus on providing value with your content. So I think it's already 80% to 90% that you will have best chance to rank in search engine, because Google is also looking for those pages or content that are of high value. And then number 5, next thing you need to do is to optimize the meta tags. So once you already have the content of your website, so there are three most important HTML elements that will help search engines understand the content of the page or a website. So a well-written titles and other metadata influence click-through rates as well. So I'm not really sure if you're familiar with this HTML code, but if you have a web page, so there should be a title on it, a description, and an H1 tag. So if you know how to do view source, you can see or search for this title. But these are the three important elements, because if you look at the Google search results, so Google will automatically pull the title of your page and display. If you see this sample here that I screenshot, so this one was taken from the results, Google results. So the blue ones, that's the actual title of your page displayed by Google, and then this black one here, snippet, this is the meta description. So this is this requires some technical skills if you want to update or change the title of your title, description, and H1 of your page. However, if you are using WordPress, there are some plugins that you can easily that you can install. It's for free actually, wherein it will give you the an easy way to change the individual title and descriptions of your page without going through the HTML code. And if you also build your website through a web builder services like Wix, I think they already provided this in your admin panel, wherein you can easily change the title and description of your individual page of your website. So yeah, this is where we normally integrate the most important keyword that we target. So if you have this single page, article page, so and you are targeting this particular keyword for that page, so you have to make sure that you add that keyword within the title, and also within within the meta description and the H1 tag. But these three elements should be unique, so you don't need to copy them, or you have to make some variations for this. And also, if you properly create the title and the description, this can influence the click-through rate. The click-through rate is when a user searching in Google clicks on your website. So the more if you have written this properly, so there's a good chance that they will click on your website and visit your web page. Number 6, you have to optimize the use of backlinks. So what are these backlinks? So backlinks, if these are the hyperlink text on a page or a website that points to either another page of your site or to another external website. So if you are on a web page and you see that blue, normally it's a blue text, underlined text, when you hover your mouse there, it will allow you to click. So those are what we call links or backlinks. So it is important that when you create your content, you add links that points to authoritative sites or credible sites, because Google loves to have that you are linking to those high authority sites, because they want to like link or crawl every page in the internet. So when you link to other websites, you create a backlink that helps boost your site ranking, because you're actively associating with quality authority sources, and then backs up the authority of your post. Likewise, you also need to be proactive in making sure that people are backlinking to your content. So when you do SEO, so you have to also build a relationship online. So when you have the page ready, if first thing you need to check is if your friends have their own website, maybe you can tell them to link to your page or specific page or to your home domain, for as long as the link where the page where they put the link that points to your site should be on a relevant page. So if you are doing a business related to, say, bags, so if your friend is like blogging about some signature bag, so I think it's good that they put a link from their blog that points to your page. So that would be very helpful with the SEO strategy to optimize the use of backlinks. So number 7, post regularly and consistently. So there's nothing better for boosting your website's SEO ranking than posting quality content regularly. So you will need to post new and updated content because Google would love fresh contents. And then posting new content, may it be a product or a blog articles, would also give you a chance to share it over your social media accounts or have your friend share it. So it will also create an instant backlink once they started sharing those links. So that strategy will help you rank faster in search engine like Google. Number 8, so you need to optimize for your local area. So whether you have a physical store or just an online store, it is highly recommended that you register your business in google.com/Google My Business. This one is also for free. So once your business is added and approved by Google, you will be listed in the here's a sample of the local results. So for example, if you have a veterinary clinic and someone is searching for a veterinary clinic in Cebu, so if you see here, the local business listings top or ranks on top of the organic results. The organic results is the one here, the number 1 in results, a trusted veterinary. So that's why it is important that you list your business in Google My Business, so that you will have the chance to rank here in the local listings. And it's also possible that your business listings would rank here, and as well as your site will rank number 1 in the organic results. So that will give you the most chance to capture most of the traffic or those someone searching for that specific keyword. So next, number 9. So this is also very important. You need to track and measure. So there are Google provided two free tools to track and measure. Number 1 is the Google Analytics. This Google Analytics, this is where you can track the behavior of your target audience. How many of them visited your site on this particular day or particular time? How long did they stay? What pages did they visit in your website? So yeah, this will give you basically an insight on what they're doing. If you are optimizing a certain landing page of your website, you will know if the page that you set up is very relevant to the keyword that you target, because by analyzing the bounce rate, which can be also seen in this Google Analytics, you will know if when user landed on your site, did they leave immediately, or did they stay and stay long and browse other pages of your site? So bounce rate is that metric that we are currently monitoring in Google Analytics, that when a user lands on your page and leaves automatically, so that is considered as a bounce rate. And then this Google Search Console, this is where you can check how your website or web pages performs in Google search engine, because this Google Search Console will report what are the errors when Google crawl your site, what are the errors that it counter, what are the keywords that you rank for, what's your current position, and how many are clicking on the your site when it shows up in Google results. So here you can see the impression of a certain keywords, how many are searching for that particular keyword, and how many times did you appear in Google results, and how many persons are clicking on your sites. So I have posted here the link where you can sign up, as well as those training, because this will require more certain number of hours if you want. So I won't be going through the technical details on how to utilize set up Google Analytics and Google Search Console, but I just provided here the link so you can check, because the idea here is when you sign up with Google Analytics and Google Search Console, they will provide you a certain script or code that you will need to embed into your website in order for the tools to start tracking the visitors. So I think this training here have all the necessary information that you need to successfully set up this Google Analytics and Google Search Console. And then number 10, so include social media. So one of the major benefits of social media for entrepreneurs is brand awareness. So the possibilities for reach are endless. It's important to remember that your social media pages are all part of your SEO processes, and that these posts and profiles will affect your overall rankings. So here are some of the benefits if you set up your social media pages as well, that once you have a new post or new content in your website, and then you share it over to all of your social media profiles, then it will automatically generate an instant backlink to your main website. And then it has also an advantage over the ability to engage with your customers directly in real time, and it's easy to build solid relationships due to back and forth interaction. So these are some of the benefits of the social media account. That's why you have to, if you are doing online business, it is highly recommended that you set up this social media profiles that you have and link it to your brand or website. So these are the 10 things that you need to get you started with SEO. So I have included lastly that you also need to keep yourself updated with the latest online marketing trend and Google updates. So I have listed here the top websites where you can best sources for this kind of information. Whenever there are new marketing trend, new updates from Google, especially on the Google algorithm. So we always check on this website, so we know what's going on in an online world. So yeah, I think this is all I have for my presentation. So I hope I was able to give you some insights, and if you have any questions, I'll try my best to answer. Ms. Dean.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Kayo. Yan. Guys, do you have questions? I think everyone's muted. Do you have questions? Or maybe I'll start first with my questions na lang siguro, and then you can follow. So, um, we've all talked about SEO being a long-term strategy. Some are even saying that it's a 6 to 9 month at least strategy. And as we all know, as I mentioned already to you, Yan, they have only about 3 months to deliver something. By December, they are expected to produce some level of output, although not necessarily just for, not exclusively from SEO itself, but from a combination of different tactics that they're doing, including
Mhm.
PPC and all others. So, as far as SEO is concerned, realistically, what can we expect within 3 months?
Well, it's actually that's a tough question because it all depends on your niche or um, the keywords that you want to target. So that actually depends on how the competition. So if you are lucky that your business is somewhat it's unique and you are targeting these specific keywords and there are only very few competition, so you will rank easily. You can start seeing results within 3 months already. But if your business has already a lot of like competition, so I think the best thing you can do is to do extensive keyword research and then just target those low-hanging fruit, those keywords wherein um, there are less competition, and hopefully those keywords will also convert, not just drive traffic.
Got it. Do you have follow-up questions, guys, or any question? Wala ra. Quiet
Ay
out.
wala ra miss murag na explain man niya tarong good.
Okay, sige.
Oh.
Um,
Siguro we will just go through the links that he's providing. Maybe we can also go deeper on it. Kasi I know he can also teach us that the very deep technical details about SEO.
mhm, sige. Um, yeah, this one I'm very curious about, and in particular, for example, local searches. You already mentioned about, like, you know, uh, localizing, creating Google My Business accounts, right? And
Yes, Chris.
so what about the near me searches, or do you have any, like, new trends about this type of searches? And is this something that is also applicable in certain regions in the Philippines?
Near me, yeah, that if they are like targeting local queries, like if their business are actually targeted for local only, like the one I've showed earlier, the veterinary clinic. So that's really local because you cannot target those someone from other provinces or other cities far from your location. So um, with the recent changes from Google, wherein user doesn't need to like input the like the near me term, like the one with LegalMatch, where we're seeing some improvements with that keyword. But if just in case users will include that near me term, so there's really a good chance that local listings that you have submitted in Google will rank higher, because when a user includes the near me, automatically Google will understand that that user is looking for a local business. So depending on where the user is located, Google will serve those listings based from where he is. So like veterinary clinic. So if Google detects that the user searching for veterinary clinic resides in, say for example, in Mandaue, so all the local businesses in Mandaue, veterinary clinic in Mandaue, will show up in the results.
Mhm. Got it. Thank you, Yan. Um, the other thing that I'd like to ask is in relation to the goals, because we already talked about, you know, the realities of SEO. What sort of like realistic goals as well as maybe measures can they, you know, monitor? You mentioned earlier about click-throughs. Maybe you can talk a little bit more about these KPIs and measures.
Initially, when you like start um, building up your website, so and you have like installed the Google Analytics to track. So what we normally do, we monitor the traffic or the visits on a daily basis. So I think the important aspect there to check, or the metrics to check, is the session or the number of visits that you're getting every day. And then, as I mentioned earlier, those bounce rate. So this one is on the Google Analytics side. So the bounce rate is also important because this will help you determine if the content that you're building is relevant to that keyword that you are targeting. Otherwise, if it's not, then that's why you can see based on that bounce rate data that users are just leaving your site after they click the results in Google and then they land on your site. So they just leave right away. So if you have a very high bounce rate, so meaning based on that keyword that you target, they don't find your site or page helpful or valuable, or maybe not relevant, or maybe there's something there's a technical issue with your page. That is why they are bouncing off. And then there's also this average time that they're spending. You can also check that. That's also very important because you can tell if based on that data, you can tell whether the visitor really read your comment. It's a good way to help you like optimize. And then because if they are staying long, it means that they are finding your page helpful. So maybe you can optimize it more, or do a conversion rate optimization on you can add call to action button there on that specific landing pages. So since users are staying long and they're reading your article, so perhaps you can introduce your products or something. And then on the Search Console, like I also mentioned earlier, the click-through rate. So you can analyze there. So because when your page or site started showing up in the Google results, you can see there what particular keyword you've started to rank already. So your average position, and then there is this click-through rate. So once you see that it could be that you are ranking high, but your click-through rate is very low. So that means that you need to make some adjustments or improvements on the title and the meta description that you set for that particular page, because it's already ranking high, but users are not finding it or not enticing them to click on your page. So it's like also it's creating your title and the meta description is like creating an ads about your site, because it will entice user to click on once you show up in the Google results. Yeah, I think that's all the important metrics that you need to monitor on a daily, weekly basis. So especially on the first few few months, so you can make adjustments right away and improve your performance.
Yes, that's right. If you're a product company and you're selling stuff on your website, I guess the final goal of your website will be to convert people, to make people buy your products. So you might want to also study the 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 user flow from where the user lands on your page up to the time that they actually buy
Check out.
product at checkout. Yes, because if there are blockers along the way, you'll have to figure out why they're being blocked, what are the issues that they're encountering. uh, you want to make sure that the steps it takes for the user to buy your product is very is very small, it's very minimal. Yes.
Yes, that's very true, Miss Tin. But um, that particular strategy is more covered in CRO, or conversion rate optimization, which I believe it's also require one session to go over with that, because there are a lot of things to look into in order for you to be able to optimize and really convert those visitors that you have in your site, that you already have. So sometimes when you are already doing effectively in your SEO, but the problem is you're still having very low conversion or no conversion at all. That's why you have to look into that, because maybe there's something in your checkout process that's breaking, or letting users go away instead of completing the whole checkout process.
Yes, that's right. For just for Phoebe, Mars, and Christian, well, one thing you could probably experiment on, maybe in your own personal time, is to create your own website, maybe some hobby, uh, something you're passionate about. Create your own website and try to SEO it. Learn from all the things that we discussed here. Also, some of the links that Ian shared. They're all how do you call it, DIY tools. So I think you can do them yourselves as well. It's a very exciting thing for you to learn, and also a way to expand your skill sets. Have you guys, or Mars, have you tried it, doing SEO or some website development? You're IT, right?
I don't have experience in creating website, but
Okay.
yeah, I've been in SEO team. I was an intern there, but I think it's not really
Oh yeah.
good.
Oh, you did some work with Ian, I know, sa SEO.
Yes, yes.
How about you, Christian and Phoebe?
For me, Miss, since I'm a management graduate, I don't have any knowledge on creating a website actually. So yeah, I don't have any background on IT, but I think it's a good thing to try naman said.
That's right.
Miss, I have a question for Ian.
Yes, go
Uh,
ahead, Ronnie.
Hey, Ian. Since that we only have a very limited period of time to establish our startup, and it seems like having a website becomes like it becomes mandatory for us. Do you know some sites that offers very cheap domains? Because I know we have to pay for a domain, right? And some domains are like quite expensive as well.
Hello, Miss. Can I offer my?
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Well,
Sure.
actually, I've been doing I've been reselling hostings and domains actually for a
Oh,
very affordable.
Like how much? Like we have to pay monthly, right? Or like we have
It's
to
a yearly actually.
yearly, right? But we
Yeah.
have the option to cancel it, not continue the subscription.
That's correct.
Oh, okay. But we have to pay for the whole year.
That's right. That's correct.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe we can try to negotiate. Yeah, because I've checked because now I'm doing a Wix website for my
Yeah.
project, and yeah,
Is
quite
it expensive?
um, it's actually not that quite expensive for to just buy the domain, but for you to subscribe as well with Wix because you cannot publish the website if you're not
Yeah, that's correct.
you're not paying the premium plan. So that's why I'm trying to maybe I can use this as a long term,
Yeah, that's
business
true. That's
perhaps
true.
because if you subscribe with the premium, I think everything will just be a waste. I think for us to build or establish this startup, maybe we can just continue this. So that's why I'm trying to conceptualize a good idea for this
Yeah,
particular.
I agree. The only advantage of like using services like Wix is that they've already optimized and then making sure that it's a lot easier for those without any technical background. But if you still opt to get your own hosting and domains, it's also not that very difficult because it's there's when you have the hosting, normally they already integrated there like a simple click to like install the WordPress, so you just need to maybe do some little research in order for you to be able to set up your website. And then there are if you are not that very technical, yeah, I would always recommend to you do a WordPress because with WordPress there are already a lot of themes that you can just there are free, there are paid that you can buy and then install without doing some codings.
Okay. But
So
is it
I have
possible
a
for But is it possible
go
for
go go.
Wix? Is it possible, like if you're using Wix, is it possible to get an external domain rather than using Wix domain offers?
Yeah, you can actually
I have
register your own domain, and then when you sign up for Wix, there's an option there that you can just
connect to the domain
yeah,
you
they will
currently
give you an
own. Right?
instruction on what DNS server to set on your domain so that it will point to the Wix server.
Oh, okay.
That's possible.
Okay, maybe we can talk later.
Sure.
Why not?
You good, Jason?
Oh yeah. Anyway, so the three of us are just starters for this. So
Okay.
I personally don't have any idea about the SEO thing. It's a really new area for me. So yeah, I've heard some recommendations. But for you, what is the best for now? What is the best thing we can do about our SEO strategy as considering that we're just starting everything from scratch? And do you think that we've been talking about the viewer activity and the time spent in the website? So do you think that affects the rankings or the result in the search engine?
The number of views.
Yeah, no, the time spent in the website. So how long does a customer stay, something like that? Does it affect your ranking on
Ranking, yeah.
the
Yes, those signals are actually it will not directly impact your ranking, but Google will based on those data, Google will analyze if for example you optimize your website and it qualifies. Google said that okay, this is okay, it's well optimized, no issues with the sites. So the first thing they need to do is to drive traffic. So random from time to time, Google will put your site on the very top results to drive traffic, and so they'll get a chance to analyze how your site performs based on those bounce rate, number of clicks. Did it perform? Did it drive high click-through rate? Did users stay long? And then based on those data, Google will know that, oh, okay, this page is very relevant because and very valuable because users are staying, users are clicking on your site. So it's a factor that will tell Google that your page is very relevant to this particular query or search keyword. So I do have a questions. Are you like doing or trying to optimize already an actual business, or it's just for the sake of
Creating
project?
from
For the sake
scratch.
of like starting this project of ours.
Okay,
Yeah,
because
creating from
if that's the
scratch.
case, then I would highly recommend you start it right with selecting making a decision of what domain you want to register, where you want to host it, because as I've said earlier, it will take time to build the authority of your website. It will take time to build the content, and then later on you might said, okay, I'm not comfortable with this, so I have to move. So that will require a lot of technical changes. So might as well, as early as now, you have to consider that. And then as I explained earlier, so if it's an actual business, so might as well do to you determine, because to be honest, the 3 months will yes, you can start ranking your site, but you cannot expect a conversion already. That's why I said earlier that I would highly suggest you do a PPC campaign, so you can run maybe a week or a month just to determine what are the best keywords to target, and then you can optimize your landing pages, whether it will convert or not. And then once you have that, once you already have those answers, I think that's the time that you focus on your SEO strategy rather than diving into SEO just for the sake of like ranking. Then later on you will realize that you're wasting your effort and time, and then you're not delivering results or conversions. So I would rather do or spend a little much right now, and then to make sure I'm able to determine what are those best keywords to target, and then from there you start building the content, the everything. At least you know what are those best keywords to target that will really deliver conversion to your business.
Yeah, actually, they have a maximum budget for their PPC campaign, depending on where their audience is or their prospects are, how they can reach those. So, for example, Facebook, which is probably one of the most effective, channels right now. It's 1,500 for the entire
Wow.
month. So,
Challenge
challenge,
kayo, no?
challenge.
Well, actually, SEO may or may not really work on a particular business. It's actually a case to case. It depends on the business model or the type of business that you have. That's why it's because there are some business that will work effectively in social media, and then there are also business that like work only if you, because in social media your targeting is based on demographics and interests, while in Google it's more contextual. So users are actually searching for a specific term. So yeah, there are businesses that will work on if you do contextual marketing, and there are those that will work on demographics targeting. Like say for example, your target. That's why it's very important that you define. Very first thing, you need to define your target audience. So you need to make a persona there, and then so because like for example, maybe your target audience are all female, so it's hard to target those audience in Google because it's they are based on searches only, and then if you target the specific changes, you do not know exactly also if those searchings are all females. There are some that are males are also doing those searches, but in social media you can easily target those because based on their gender that they set with their account. So that's why you have to not very sure if, although yes, we can start deliver um, SEO results, but there are no assurance as when it comes to the conversion, because it will take time really to analyze and tweak your campaigns and strategies.
Yeah, so actually, part of the challenge is really in terms of strategizing and choosing from among the tactics that we're learning, which ones will fit
Yeah.
the goals,
Mhm.
will contribute to the accomplishment of the goals. So if your business is very specific, and you know that you can target them using Facebook ads, then uh, then do the Facebook ads.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that's a good strategy.
That's right, with the 1.5. But we're not, like I mentioned, we're not expecting a lot in terms of, I mean, we know what 1.5 can bring us within a 3 month
Okay.
period. So we don't really like expect that you're going to be profiting a lot. The goal here is to really demonstrate the impact of all the strategies, the tactics that you're implementing to your bottom line. And the only way to do this is to really, you know, start the business yourself rather than like present a proposal to another company. You'll have to go through everything, and they might not really trust, your insights because, uh, of course, we know that they have other sources of insights as well.
Okay.
Sige, what else? Another question. Um, yeah, so challenges and issues that they will expect, I mean, as far as SEO is concerned, and like I mentioned, whether you do a lot of SEO, at the very least, I mean, there are some basic SEO basics that you can implement on your website. Websites are very important just for establishing your presence online, whether or not you have like high traffic. You're going to be building, you know your base at this point within the time period. But yeah, just having